What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Min. The moment you've all been waiting for, the Aquaman Omnibus by Geoff Jonhs. This is the recent reads. This is the review. Stay tuned. Alright, first of all, stop everything you're doing. Head over onto In Stock Trades, buy this omnibus, and thank me later. This was one of the best books that I've read all year. The Aquaman Omnibus by Geoff Jonhs, first of all, is the only Aquaman Omnibus that has been released so far. Geoff Jonhs' writing is fluid, page-turning, interesting, and expands the mythos of Aquaman. And the art, so I didn't realize who the artist was on this, but it's Ivan Reyes is the main guy. He does most of the artwork on here. The artwork and the coloring is incredible. It is an awesome sight to look at. It's almost like you need to slow down on the reading and just soak in the artwork. It's just incredible. This is Geoff Jonhs' run on the New 52 Aquaman run, which was issue 0 through 25. But it does not have issue 20. I guess he didn't read that. It does have the DC Villains Month .1 issues for Black Manta and Ocean Master, and it has the 2 Justice League tie-ins, 3 issues, 15 through 17. But it does a really good job of expanding Black Manta's character, and like, dude, you can't be all about killing Aquaman. What happens if he's dead? What you gonna do then? So what we'll do is we'll flip through the artwork, and we'll talk some of the story. Not really spoilers to be had, kind of like the movie. And speaking of the movie, I'm not going to say any spoilers, but it was heavily influenced by this book. From the visuals to the characters, you can tell, and I don't know if Geoff Jonhs helped on the Aquaman movie. He may have, because I know that he was taking more of a role into the movies. A lot of it was borrowed from this book, but the book did it better, like most books do. I think the reason why is because you don't have Jason Momoa in here. And I like Jason Momoa, but you're getting comic book Aquaman. You're getting regular Aquaman. He's not a surfer bro, funny guy. He's more of a relatable character, I think, than Jason Momoa. I read this in probably 3 sittings. So we'll flip through like the table of contents, and I'll show you the way I read it and how I knocked it out so quick. And so let's just take a look at it. All right, so let's just take a quick look. Here is the dust jacket of the Omni. Here is the spine. And here's the back. You can see it has a $75 cover price. Man, what a steal this book is, man. And at half off, you can't go wrong. It has the issues that it covers here. A brief description. You gotta love the artwork on the actual hardcover itself, with Aquaman on the front, Black Manta on the back. Looks great. So this is the way that I attacked this book. When I started reading it, I noticed that, this is going to be a quick read. So this is what I did. I looked at the table of contents. I read The Trench, 1 through 4. Lost and Deserted were kind of just standalone stories, so I knocked those all out in one sitting. The Trench was awesome. I read The Trench before I saw the movie, and you can see where they got the trench monsters from and the whole idea, and man, it was just very cool to read in the book, and one of the better parts of the movie. Lost and Deserted, I don't really remember, we'll look through it. The Others, so then I read that in one sitting, then I read The Others, the 7 parts, and the 0 issue, which was called Underwater. So I sat down and knocked that whole thing out. The Others is kind of like Aquaman's own little squad before he joins the Justice League in the New 52. The 0 issue was something that DC did in the New 52 about a few months in. They went back and did a 0 issue, which basically was like a prequel, kind of like setting up the origin in the New 52 universe. Then my next sitting, I read Throne of Atlantis, which had 7 parts. And then, what was Throne of Atlantis? in the book, there's a lot of back and forth on him being the king, him not being the king, Oren being the king, and all this kind of stuff. Then the next thing I did was I sat down and read the remaining Death of a King, chapters 1 through 5. Then the 2.1 issues, Sea Change and New Fish. And then Death of a King, actually part 6 and part 7. So, yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4 sittings and I knocked this whole thing out. Here's cover 1. It has the monsters from the trench. Very great read. Movie borrowed heavily from that. It's funny because Aquaman is kind of like a joke in the world. Like, the cops make fun of him. A lot of people make fun of him. Mera, the movie, still they got everything for her character from this run, man. Mera was awesome. And the trench was cool. It explains to you better than the movie, I think. Like they're just trying to survive. Like, those creatures, in order to survive under those harsh conditions of all that water pressure and that darkness, they have to constantly eat. So, they're running out of food. They got to find a source. So, look, a lot of double-page spreads with amazing artwork here. This is Lost. Yeah, this was like a desert story, which they also kind of did in the movie as well. Even jumping out of the plane, right? Even Mera in Real World. So, yeah. Here goes the others. Manimal, he read all this stuff already, and you could see solicited that there was an Aquaman in the others run in the New 52 as well, but it's not collected in this book. I didn't really like the others, but the storyline was pretty cool. It's kind of like, takes place 6 years prior to where we are in Aquaman's universe in the New 52. Black Manta is great in every panel he's in. Another double page spread, see? Similar stuff from the movie on getting Atlantean artifacts and tridents and such. Look, boom, another double page. The artwork, I'm telling you, in this book is incredible. Ocean Master. Here's the Justice League stuff. So you get 3 issues with Batman and Superman, and they're good. Double page. Aquaman on that throne. The Dead King story, which is cool. This is Atlan, who was the king of Atlantis before it sunk, and cool story there. Boom. This monster looks familiar if you've seen the movie. This is the .1 Villains Month issue. Oh, I'm sorry. The Justice League stuff is not the Crime Syndicate. That's the .1 issues. I forget the Justice League story. The Justice League story is Orin attacking the mainland. Same plot from the movie, too, on what causes the war. Pretty much. All right, then you get variant covers and stuff in the back. Robot Chicken, Jim Lee, sketches, stuff like that. All right, guys, so that is the review on the Geoff Johns Aquaman Omnibus. So happy that I read it right away. I think I'm going to be doing that more. Like, as soon as I get a book in that I like, I'm just going to knock it out right away instead of putting it on the shelf and letting it sit. I do kind of want to jump back and read the Fantastic Four by Mark Waid. And as soon as Before Watchmen comes in, I think it should come in about a week or so. I'm gonna knock that one out right away as well. But trying to stay on top of the recent reads. We are currently reading IDW's Transformers. Manimal is reading Hellboy, and once he finishes that, we're gonna do BPRD together. And we have a couple of other things that we wanna jump into. Drop me a like on the way out. Leave me a comment. What do you think about Geoff Johns' Aquaman? If you've read it. If you haven't read it, what the hell are you waiting for? I believe it's still like 42% off cover price on InStockTrades.com. Free plug. And yeah, man, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more recent reads, for more movie reviews, for daily content of a mixed variety that we do something different every day. So yeah, man, thanks for watching. Stay minty. Peace.